lazy days of summer, Bonnaroo's got issues, and M&A never sleeps. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by too many open browser tabs, and brought to you by No Disc, helping music, technology, and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's June 22nd, 2026. I'm Lars Murray. It's Monday, where we talk about what happened over the weekend and what is on deck for this week. Over the weekend, well, for all of the consumers, Olivia Rodrigo's You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love topped the Billboard charts on Friday, which is both unsurprising and pretty cool. If you're a longtime listener, you know I'm a fan. Congrats, Olivia. Otherwise, the holiday weekend was a relatively slow news weekend as we enter the lazy days of summer. Happy actual summer, everybody. To kick off what's likely to be a fairly slow news period for the next couple of weeks as we get through the early summer holidays, also out there in the consumer world, probably the other big story was that Bonnaroo still has issues. The festival actually did make it back this year after it was destroyed by weather last year. It was only almost destroyed by weather this year. Being outdoors in Tennessee in June has never particularly appealed to me, which is why Bonnaroo is probably the only iconic U.S. festival I've never been to. But apparently my decision not to go this year was once again justified due to various weather issues. 11, count 'em, 11 sets had to be canceled. I hope and imagine the artists still got paid, but it still kind of sucks for the organizers, and it really sucks even worse for the fans, of whom there were a lot fewer this year, around 45,000, down from an all-time peak of 80,000. I imagine there's still some margin in there for the organizers, but that's still a couple of tough years in a row for the mother of modern campout festivals. I'm sure they're not about to close up shop after all the organizers own the real estate. But lumping consecutive years of dodgy weather on top of a competitive festival environment and stretched consumer budgets, at least at the lower ticket levels, it looks like a lot of challenges. I've said it before, it would be very cool if they would move it to the fall, but it's not like they haven't considered that. Going to be interesting to see how this all plays out for Bonnaroo. Last week also brought news of a new record label of sorts. Bose, the maker of sound products for people who don't want to think much about sound products, has launched a record label and content studio, which has generated reactions from the fear that this is a new milestone in tech's takeover of music on the part of a LinkedIn post that I'm not even going to link to because it's so far-fetched. On the other hand, you've got outright ridicule coming from The Verge. As usual, it's neither the endgame to the tech music apocalypse, nor is it ridiculous. If you actually read the press release, you'll see that the person behind this thing is the CMO. That's Chief Marketing Officer, kids. This is a marketing exercise. Doesn't take a genius to compute that the building and staffing of a content capture studio, even at the high end, runs into the low millions tops, essentially a rounding error on an annual marketing budget. And if they can squeeze out some interesting content-based marketing, boost a career here and there, and demonstrate to fans and artists that they're supporting music creation, and provide another valuable marketing stop on a tour, and have total brand control during all of this, it's not really that preposterous at all. Putting on my music marketer hat, any content program supported with corporate dollars and paid media is a good thing, especially if it's a music-adjacent company. So you go, Bose. And late in the week, Spotify launched its Spotify Reserved program, aka early ticket access for fans who follow artists on Spotify. They did it with Role Model, and as expected, Spotify is just another in an increasingly crowded field of early ticket options, including credit cards and other rewards programs. Hey, anything that sells more tickets to real fans is also to the good. The only question here is what took them so long. Yes, I will take the opportunity to remind everybody that we were doing this at Pandora a decade ago, and it worked very well, even if subsequent decisions did not work out so well. And while we're in a sleepy period for the music industry in general, M&A never sleeps, and occasionally that touches music. In case you missed it, like me, the BMG Concord merger was greenlit not Friday, but the Friday before that. Not much of a surprise here. The combined entity will be based in Nashville and will be run by Bob Valentine. Penske Media, which already owns Billboard, Luminate, South by Southwest, Rolling Stone, and probably some other traditional media brands I'm forgetting, just snapped up Vox Media's portfolio of traditional internet media brands, including The Verge, Pop Sugar, Eater, Thrillist, and every other Vox publication that wasn't included when James Murdoch bought Vox's Crown Jewels New York magazine and the Vox Podcast Network. Still a lot of good stuff in there, and best of luck to the hardworking Vox journalists, once again wondering how long they're going to have jobs. Hang in there, everyone. We got your back. Looking at the week ahead, my personal calendar is nothing but soccer. No conferences or events of note outside the usual festivals. A few music folks celebrating birthdays this week include old friends and colleagues Matt Amoroso over at the Brooklyn Bowl in Philly, Tyler Pittman continuing an epic run at Sony Music, Avett Brothers manager and music taste beacon Dolphus Ramseur, and Sean Maxson doing the label and artist relations dance over at Vidya. And that's another Monday. Support for Unlimited Supply is provided by you, our listeners. If you want to join the few, the proud, the elite supporters of Unlimited Supply and receive your Unlimited Supply Merit Badge trucker hat as a symbol of your sophistication, there's a link in the show notes and on our website. If you like what you hear, please hit that follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement, but it really helps if you share that praise as a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or three. And now we're on Substack, if that floats your boat. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.